Hi, I'm Christine. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm here with my Kindle Unlimited TBR. So today's video, I'm just here to chat about all the books that I currently have out on my Kindle Unlimited library. I absolutely love KU. I've been a subscriber to it for, I don't know, years now. Basically, Kindle Unlimited is a subscription service through Amazon where you can have 20 books checked out from their Kindle Unlimited library at any time. So you can have that on your iPad, your phone, your Kindle, any of those things checked out, and then you can turn books back in and get a new book, things like that. A lot of romance authors are just exclusively on Kindle Unlimited, so that's definitely why I have it. And I definitely get use out of it every month because of how many books that I read that are on Kindle Unlimited. I love it. I always have my phone with the Kindle app or my Kindle with me at all times to read wherever I'm at, and I absolutely love that. Also, speaking of my Kindle, I just recently changed out all of the stickers on my Kindle, which I absolutely love. I just have a clear case on my Kindle, and then I just put the stickers kind of behind the clear case and change them out as I want, so they're never like stuck down. Highly recommend. It has like the extra protection around the bumpers of it as well, like the four corners. So yeah, highly recommend a clear case for your Kindle if you want to twin with me. I will link the one that I have for my Kindle Paperwhite in the description of the video. So we're just going to quickly go through it. I haven't done this video in quite some time, and my KU library is always changing up. So yeah, let's just jump into it. All right, so we'll start off at the bottom. So the one that I've had out the longest is An Icy Infatuation by Emily Silver. This is actually an Antarctica romance, basically like a travel romance series from her that I've been wanting to get back to. I read one of the books in the series, which took place in Paris. It was like a sapphic romance. I really enjoyed that one. I think it was called French Fling or something like that. That one I liked, and so I've been wanting to get back to this one because I mean, Antarctica, like, come on. So I plan to get to it at some point, hopefully soon. Next, I have Collide by Bal Cabra on here. I don't know if it's still available on Kindle Unlimited because I believe the author got picked up, or this book got picked up with like traditionally publishing, so I'm not sure if it's still on KU, but I have it on my KU. It might still be because some of these indie authors do get like the rights for their KU books to still be on KU. That's a lot of KU, but anyways, hopefully that made sense. So yeah, this is one that I plan to get to at some point. I know my friend Lizelle from Lizelle Loves Books loved this one, and she told me I would probably like it as well. So yeah, I definitely want to get to this one. Hockey romance. Can't remember the other vibes of it, but I know it's that. Then I also have another sports romance on here. So this is A Man's World by Grace Newman. And this one is, I believe, an F1 where the heroine is the F1 racer. And I think it's enemies to lovers, possibly. I think the hero is maybe enemies or was friends at some point with the heroine's brother. Something like that. Kind of like a frenemies situation. So yeah, that's one I want to get to. Again, I got recommended this one from a friend quite a few months ago and need to get to it still. Then I have The Lovely Return by Carrie Ann Cole. So this is the newest release from this author. I think it came out, I want to say in like November or December of 2023. So it's been on my KU since then. I've been wanting to get to it. Basically, this one is like a reincarnation romance, I believe. And so it says that in the description as well. So like not a spoiler, but yeah, I've heard good things. And so I want to get to it because I did hear people were loving it. Carrie Ann Cole, I think I've read a lot of her books in the past and they're kind of hits and misses for me. But then again, like one of my top age gap like romances, Torn by her, is so good. One of my favorites. So like I always try out her books anyways. Then I have This Year's Love by J.R. Jenner. So I actually read a holiday novella from this author just this past Christmas and really enjoyed it. It was their debut. And this was the next book in the series that kind of is following the same like family or friend group. And so this one I want to get to. I think it's a full-length book though. And I believe it's Second Chance, and that's all I needed to know. And I wanted to jump into it. I think the series is called London Lovers. So yeah, book 2 in the series. I think her third book's coming out later this spring. So I'm excited to try it out and just have like a different author to kind of go to because I really enjoyed her holiday novella and like that we get these older characters who are like more mature. I enjoyed that. All right, and then I have The Shake Off by Lulu Moore. This one is a follow-up to The Third Baseman from her, which I loved last year so much. One of my favorites. This one, again, another baseball romance. I heard kind of some mixed things about this one, that people didn't love it quite as much as the first book. So like I still want to get to it, but like I haven't made it a priority yet. Maybe now that it's spring and like baseball season, maybe I'll get to it and do like a baseball vlog. We'll see. All right, and then I have Choosing Theo by Victoria Avalon, something like that. Somebody recommended me this book, and I can't remember where, if it was on Instagram or YouTube, but basically they said if you liked Ice Planet Barbarians and Ruby Dixon books, you might enjoy this one. So I want to get to it. I believe the audio is available on Hoopla as well. So I might grab the audio from there and then get to it or read it on my KU. We shall see. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to this one. I believe it's like alien romance, and that's all I needed to know. All right, and then I have On the Same Page by Haley Cass, and this one, I believe it's sapphic romance, and that's all I knew. I think I saw like Chandler from Chandler Ainsley reading this one a couple months back, and she really enjoyed it. And so I was like, sounds good to me. Let's give it a try. Haven't tried it yet, but it is on my KU to get to. I think this is the one where they're in college and they're either roommates or friends or something like that. And then one of them is like, maybe we should be something more. I don't know. Something like that. I know it's sapphic though, so I want to get to it at some point. I also have the Fake Out from Stephanie Archer, which this one, I don't know if I'll get to or not because I've heard some mixed things now from friends about it. Some people love it. Some people didn't really enjoy it. So we'll see if I get to it. I know it's a hockey romance. That's all I know. We'll see if I get to it. I do still have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker on here. So this is a fantasy romance, which I think is like very high fantasy with this kind of like epic world building setup. I know I did get into it. I read, I think like barely 5% of it a couple months ago, and I just never continued on because I wasn't in the mood at the time. So I might give it a try. I know I have it on my KU still because this author actually got picked up for this book like through Avon, because Avon is apparently doing fantasy romances now. So we'll see when I get to it, if I get to it. I've heard some like mixed things about this author's writing and kind of the way that their books are, but then I know people who love it. So I don't know. Let me know if you've read this book or this author before. So then I have out Pestilence by Laura Thalassa. So this book I actually have a physical copy of. I found it recently at like a used bookstore, but I decided to grab the KU as well of it just because I ain't gonna read a physical book. Let's be real. Probably read it on Kindle. So I have it here and we'll see if I get to it. I know it's the first book in her Four Horsemen series, which I've been wanting to get to for forever. I know there's like pestilence, war, famine, death, probably in a different order, but I know it follows those four kind of books and themes. So hopefully I get to this one. Let me know if you read this series because I've heard like amazing things about it for years. Hopefully I get to it soon. All right, another one I have out that I've had out for probably over a year on my KU is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. This one I have heard great things for. It's also a chunky book, so I've been kind of putting it off, and I kind of want to be in the mood when I pick it up because I think it's like dark, historical, kind of paranormal, kind of fantasy, kind of like all those kind of vibes going on. I just know that my book bestie told me not to read too much about it, just to go into it blindly. So I plan to do that. I trust her and I'm excited to get to this one at some point. All right, another fantasy romance I have out is The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. So I know that Jess from Peace Love Books and Tori from Novel Life read this one a couple months ago and they really enjoyed it. And I think it's like a Viking fantasy romance. So I grabbed it back then and I actually read it. I think I'm like 40% in or something. I need to get back to it because I started it in February, but then like books weren't hitting right. So I put it off all of March. So I need to get back into it and get to it because I think it's like Norse Viking kind of fantasy romance vibes. So yeah, I know there's like a road trip. That's the part I'm on. So we'll see how it goes from there. All right. And then I have out Icebound from Meredith Trapp. So basically I have like a bunch of fantasy romances and a lot of hockey romances on here. So this one I know is a hockey romance. And I know that I think again, Jess from Peace Love Books loved it and talked about it. And so I grabbed it then because we usually see eye to eye on a lot of books. So I grabbed it and planned to get to it. I know that in here, I know people always talk about the hero in here, how he's like a cat dad, which I think is so cute. And I think he like knits or crochets as well, which I need to get to it. So yeah. Then back to fantasy romance, I have The Crown of Oaths and Curses by Jay Bree. This one, again, I read Jay Bree a couple years ago, maybe. Has it been a couple years now where I read their like Why Choose kind of paranormal fantasy series. Didn't love that one. I actually DNF'd that series after like book maybe 2 or 3. So I wasn't planning on picking them up again, but then a couple friends recommended this book and said that it's actually good. So we'll see if I get to it. Let me know if you've read it. I know the second book comes out soon. This one I believe is just MF fantasy romance, so we'll see if I get to it. Then I have Tame the Heart out by Ava Hunter. This is the first book in her Runaway Ranch series. I read the second book, which was Rope the Moon, recently and really enjoyed that one, so I want to go back and read this book now. They're basically like small town romantic suspense vibes, and we shall see what I think. And then another one I have out is The Brightest Light of Sunshine. This one I have out because of Tori from Novel Life. My friends always kind of inspire what I pick up from KU, and so this one I've been wanting to get to. She said it was like one of her favorites from March, and I know she didn't have a lot of favorites in March, like a lot of us, like me as well. So I'm excited to try this one out. I also grabbed the second book as well, which is The Darkest Corner of the Heart. So yeah, hope to get to both of those soon, and we shall see. Let me know if you've read them. All right, I also grabbed out Mafia Devil by Mila Finelli because the day that I'm filming it is the day that this came out, and so I am excited to get into this one. This is part of her Kings of Italy series, which is a mafia romance series that I have read and enjoyed all of the books. This one is an MM novella part of the series, and I believe in here we have an Italian fashion designer, and then I believe maybe a Russian mob guy, possibly. Can't remember, but either way, MM novella mafia romance. I'm gonna get to this one probably tonight or tomorrow. All right, and then 2 books that I have out currently, which I'm in the middle and finishing up one of them tonight, and then I'm gonna start the next one immediately. So I have Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole, which is the second book in their Kindred's Curse saga series, I want to say, I believe. So yeah, book 2 I'm absolutely loving. I can't say too much about it because it is a kind of follow-up to book 1. We follow the same couple throughout. It's a fantasy romance series. It is so good and so fun. The first book I thought was just okay, but I was invested enough in the fantasy aspect to continue on, and the second book, chef's kiss, loving it so much. It's gonna be 5 stars for me. Like, I'm just obsessed with it and it's so good. Highly recommend. Basically, this is giving like royals, political intrigue, courts, all of these things going on. We have this kind of like fated aspect to it. Just so good. This one is giving me like a Game of Thrones vibes, but in like the best way. Before that show went to crap, I said what I said. But anyways, yeah, it's a good time. And so then I also have the 3rd book in the series, which is Heat of the Everflame. Like I said, I'm going to continue on because I'm really enjoying the series overall. So this is the 3rd book in the series. We follow the same couple characters throughout. We only get the heroine's POV for all of the books so far. So yeah, planning to read that one. I know the 4th book comes out, I think in June, May or June. And I think that's the last book in this series. But yeah, I'm excited and having a good time with those. So yeah, those are all the books that I have out on my KU library. Like I said, a ton of hockey, a ton of small town, and a ton of fantasy romances. So I guess those are the vibes of what I'm reading right now. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of the books that I have out on my KU, if there's any you think I'm gonna love, if there's any you think I will not enjoy, and you're like, take that off your KU immediately, let me know that too. And if you wanna leave me an emoji in the comments instead today to let me know that you watched this video, maybe leave me like the kissy lips, since we have my Kindle sticker here with the little like kissy lips. So yeah, definitely do that. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I will see you in my next one.